Here we go. Anime. Here we go. Ultimate anime tier list. Anime slash manga. Best anime characters. 240 popular anime. Tier shown anime. Anime list 2022. 500 plus. Fuck no. Top anime of all time. Let's do that. Oh yeah, this list's not crazy. Okay. Alright. We about to do this. Whew. Let me change the time. Alright. Okay. Alright, let's lock in. Let's lock in. Alright, first one on here is Rising of the Shield Hero, which is an interesting first one. Rising of the Shield Hero is a middle of the road type of show, I would say. Not super good, not super bad. Just for starters, I think it's a good one to just throw. Maybe I'm thinking C. I'm thinking a solid C. Definitely a solid show. Funny. I think it's borderline B. Borderline B, but I'm gonna throw in C for now, and then I'm gonna see what else goes in C. But I think I'll put C. I'm not gonna waste too much time on that. But solid show. Raphtalia, the slave thing, 4 heroes, funny. It's a solid show. The second season was kind of garbage with that turtle. That shit was trash. So I'm gonna go with C. Attack on Titan is probably an S. At least an A, or probably an F. Attack on Titan's a great show, one of the all-time greats, one of the best entries to a show I've ever seen. That first episode was crazy when it came out. Historic run, even after it changed studios, it stayed good. Iconic, all that. I'm going S tier. Data Live, solid little show. I'm gonna go C for that as well. Data Live is solid, I ain't gonna lie. Reincarnated as a slime. Ruin them. I'm gonna go A. I think it's a low tier A, but I think it is an A. I mean, that's a solid show. I feel like for that type of show, that's the best one. So you can't really, I don't know, I can't really hate on Slime. Slime is one of the ones. I think it's extremely easy to watch, funny, likable characters, good storyline. Like, Slime is consistent. Same thing with Mushoku Tensei. Mushoku Tensei is the exact same way. Like, super consistent, the best of their genre. This is like the best of the reincarnated man in another world, and this is like the best reincarnated like object, like because they're like reincarnated as a sword and all that other shit. But slime, the spider one, but slime is the best one, and then Mushoku Tensei is the best one out of all the other ones. You feel me? So it's tough to, you know. Now Overlord is decent. I'm not a big Overlord fan. They have a lot of like weird comedy in this one that I'm not into, but the story is solid. If it was I'ma go C because but I think B tier is fair because I think a lot of people will put it in A tier. But I'm not a super big Overlord fan. I'm gonna go B though. Fire Force is going to be too. Love Fire Force, solid show. Obviously not nearly as good as Soul Eater. I think B is just the right place for it. Just a super solid show. Psychopaths, I think you have to put Psychopaths in B when you're considering the entire show. I think the first season, that first part, I think it was like the first 26 episodes is excellent. I think after that they kind of lost track and they didn't really deliver all the way. But that second, the one directly after was good, but then after that they went. I don't know about that, so I'm gonna go to B. Especially with the animes that we have in B right now, I don't think that's a bad rating. Food Wars, I'm gonna also go B. I think Food Wars is the B, arguable A. I think Food Wars might be an A. I mean, for its genre, it's the leader of the cooking shows for sure. It's innovative. The cooking competitions are excellent. Super funny. Had a long run. I'll probably go A for Food Wars. A tentative A, like a low tier A. You feel me? Goblin Slayer's an A. Goblin Slayer's an A. Goblin Slayer's a great show. But that first episode is crazy. Another great first episode. That's a great show. I'm not gonna say too much about Goblin Slayer. I think widely considered a great show. Same with like Clash of Muddy Elite. I think Clash of Muddy Elite is probably an A too. Clash of Muddy Elite is a banger. Clash of Muddy Elite is a banger. I gotta be careful. That's a tentative. These are tentative A's. Like these could go down and get dependent. I'm not looking forward to a whole lot, but these are a lot of good anime in the beginning. Must be. Okay, we getting some regular. Bofuri is probably a C. Same with our Furita. Both solid shows. Just nothing super unique about either one. Bofuri, I would say, is more unique than our Furita for sure. But Bofuri just wasn't that good. No shade. You know what I'm saying? No shade. But it just wasn't that good. So I think both of them going to see is cool, especially with the company that's in there. 7 Deadly Sins. That's a tough one. Because 7 Deadly Sins first seasons are really good. And then they sold the animation when they tried to finish it. And then they went on this tangent with all these other shows and movies and shit. Overall, I think B would be generous for 7 Deadly Sins. I think if I go B, I'm being generous, but I think I am gonna go B. The characters are excellent. They're impressionable. The ending wasn't bad. It was just roughly animated. I haven't seen all the movies and stuff, but I did finish the show. It did. I mean, you know, it's a solid little show. It's a solid little show. It's better than a lot of the other shows. And with me being a decently tough grader of shonen specifically, I enjoyed 7 Deadly Sins. I think it's really a C. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna put it in B for now, and it might end up going down. Case Study, I would like to see. I haven't seen Case Study, but I've heard good things about it. Yeah, Case Study, it looks good. It's a vampire show. I watched like 1 or 2 episodes. Yeah. Unlimited Baja. I don't necessarily care to see that, but I know it's supposed to be good. Vinland Saga. I'm gonna go with A. A for Vinland Saga. Even though the first season to me was significantly better than the second, I think Vinland Saga is one of them ones. Love Vinland Saga. Shout out to Askeladd. RP. Dr. Stone is a tough one to grade. I mean, it's still coming out very, 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 very consistent. It's very consistent show. I like the concept. Original main character. First time I had seen that type of thing. I watched the entire first season. It was really good. I haven't stayed up to date, so it's hard for me to grade it fairly. But I think it's probably a B to an A range show. I mean, it's definitely up there. It's really good. I think right now where it stands, what animes I have. I mean, right now where it stands with the animes I have in A, I think I can put it in A tier. But some of these are probably gonna drop and be like the top of B tier is what's gonna happen. But yeah, like Dr. Stone is probably a A tier show. Like, it's up there with Food Wars, I would say, as far as the level. So My Hero is definitely an A. People hate on My Hero a lot. But My Hero has got one of the greatest runs in shonen history for sure. Not obviously not number 1 or 2 or 3, but one of the ones, top 10 for sure. And you know, this journey with Deku and stuff has been special. Just one of my favorite animes of all time. Probably the anime that singularly got my sister into anime. You know what I'm saying? That's impressive. I feel like My Hero drew in a lot of. It was an anime that included all genders because it has so many girl characters, so many different powers, and it was so creative. So, My Hero is one of them ones. It gets a lot of hate, but I don't understand it. Obviously, One Punch Man is a A. Kami Got Killed could be a B, but I might see. The thing about Kami Got Killed is, and this is my thing, I have a tendency to lean towards short anime more because short anime are, I think, easier to pull off a story that's compelling, draw you in, and then captivate you with a great ending. Like, they tend to end better. Like, a Kami Got Killed had a great start, great ending, super fast paced, a whole bunch of deaths, a whole bunch of action. Like, that's my type of show. So it's hard for me. So I gotta grade it harder because I really, really like this show. But I think it's like, if I had to choose between Goblin Slayer, and that makes me want to pull this down, because I think I don't know, man. I think a Kami Got Killed is better than Goblin Slayer for sure. I'm thinking Goblin Slayer might be a B tier show. Great show. But I think the difference between these is how great the characters emotionally captivate you in a very short amount of episodes. Like, you have to realize how fast you love these characters, and then for them to try to have impact with these deaths. And initially, it did have impact. Like, that shit be catching you off guard. Sometimes it's the way they be dying, but other times, like, bro, like, damn, bro, you killed my boy. Like, that shit's crazy. So, yeah, that show was great, man. That's one of the ones. And it had real emotion behind it. Relationship, had a little love story in there. Like, they did a lot in that little 26 episodes. I might rewatch Kami Got Killed here soon, actually. Just because it has a lot of rewatch value, too. Yeah. Shout out to Kami Got Killed. That's a good show. Here we go. Now we got some heat coming up. So, Sword Art Online is a controversial one because a lot of people didn't like the fairy thing. The thing about me is I watched anime always like kind of alone my whole life, so I didn't have any outside influences, especially not the internet either. So I enjoyed Sword Art Online, like the entire thing. The only part of Sword Art Online I didn't watch was Alicization, but I've seen everything else, and I'm a big fan. I never understood the hate. I really never got it. But I'm gonna put Sword Art Online as an A tier show for sure. I think, and on top of all of that, it was the first of its kind, the first one to go and do that video game thing effectively. You know, with the great animation, great fight scenes, and a great romance story. Stakes were high. I mean, that was a great. That's one of the ones, and that's one of the ones I'm probably gonna rewatch here in a couple years, and it'll still be excellent. I think the narrative around it got heavier than the show a little bit, especially in our community. So, and that's unfortunate because it's a really good show. Facing that is 100% an A. 100%. Not even gonna have that conversation. Now, is there two of them on here, or is that the only one? There's Fate Zero on here. That's the only Fate Stay Night, right? Because there's an old one and a new one. That's a picture of the old front, but the new one is better. Okay, but that's the only one. Fate Stay Night is a great show. The Fate series in general, and I can actually drag them both up here while I'm talking about it, just because I'm talking about it. I know it's down here. They're both A's. This series is just absolutely magnificent. They did a great job telling the prequel and telling the story of Ren. I think the fight scenes are gorgeous, but the story is even better to me. I think that's what really captivated me with the story, and then having the fight scenes on top of that is just, a bonus. And I wish they would just keep coming out with Fates forever because I love Fates, and I'll watch any renditions they have. Obviously, these ones are the best by a large margin, but anything they got, I'll watch because that shit always solid. So yeah, I'm a big Fate fan. Seraph of the End. This is a nice little show, man. Solid little show. Has some cool powers, good fights. Characters aren't super compelling. The story's not crazy good. I'm not a big vampire guy, but they did it in a cool way with the two different coalitions and being connected and all that, but not being, all that stuff and a lot of betrayals and stuff. It's a solid little show. I'm gonna put it in C tier, but it's like a top tier C tier show. It might even be a B. But with the shows we have in B right now, I wouldn't say it's on the same level as those. So I would have to put it on a C tier, but it's a very, very solid show. One of them shows that you definitely don't mind you're watching, but you could definitely forget you're watching it very quickly. But it's a good show. I could see that being like niche somebody's favorite show. You know what I mean? Like it's a high tier C tier show. And there definitely is those type of shows. So that's a very solid show. Let me be very clear. If it's a C, it's like a 79% type shit. Gurren Lagann's obviously A. This is a classic, legendary show, and I'm gonna just do both these quick because these two are both legendary shows. Actually, I ain't gonna lie. Steins Gate's an S tier show. Steins Gate's an S tier show. This is actually a picture of the movie, but the movie's S tier too. So, Steins Gate is legendary. That was a roller coaster ride. Yeah, man, emotional, crazy, time travel really made you think, compelling, great characters, another love story, just sad. That's one of the ones. Gurren Lagann is also probably a tier above the rest as well. But I think this is kind of a hot take. A lot of people love Gurren Lagann. A lot of people hate it. I'm a big mecha fan. I grew up a mecha fan, and Gurren Lagann's one of the ones. It's actually a show I really need to rewatch because I watched this as a kid, and it really made an impression on me, especially like the first 12 episodes. So I love an underdog story, and I didn't expect what happened in the beginning to happen. So, but yeah, this is one of them ones. Gurren Lagann might be S tier. I'm gonna put it at top of A. I think it's definitely if it's in the A tier, it's top of A. I think these two could obviously both be in S tier if they. But I like Gurren Lagann. I don't love it. That's just how I feel. Now is this Code Geass or is this Code Geass? Oh no, yeah, this is just regular Code Geass. Code Geass, I'm gonna put it on A tier. I'm gonna put Code Geass on A tier. I'm a big fan of the strategy thing. And when I first watched Code Geass, it was one of those animes that really sucked me into the show. I remember watching Code Geass really fast because I was really, really, really into it and needed to know what was going to happen next. That's one of the ones. It's addicting. And I've watched Code Geass since then probably 3 times. So Code Geass is a great show. Especially when you're in that strategic mood. When you want to watch like a strategic military show. It's hard to beat that, especially on the mecha end. And it's also probably on the fighting end of mechas on the top end as well. And I think it's underrated when it comes to mecha action, especially in the later seasons. Like, they was really going crazy. They really was. Yeah, that's one of the ones. Death March is a D. I don't like Death March at all. I don't. I was not a fan. I know some people enjoyed it. It's like an isekai where he's with all these girls and stuff. It's whack. I'm not a fan of it. Yeah. Fairy Tail is I'm putting Fairy Tail on C. And don't cook me. I'm gonna tell you. I'm putting it on B. I'm putting it on the same level as Fire Force. There we go. So they don't get mad at me. I think it's above. And by the way, Psychopaths needs to be up here. But Fairy Tail is a solid show. I don't think it's anything that you need to go out of your way to see when you consider all the shows that are gonna be in A tier. But I think Fairy Tail is it's a thing of the past, man. I like that they're trying to revive it. But back when it was coming out with that animation style and that brand of comedy, I think it worked. Now they're trying to rebrand it, and I think they're doing even a better job now. I think it's even more interesting than it was, but it was never super interesting to begin with, so it's tough. You know what I'm saying? But Fairy Tail is the best part about Fairy Tail is by far the characters. The characters are extremely likable. But besides that, the actual story itself to me was an from the beginning, and I've watched a lot of Fairy Tail to try and like it, to try and understand what people found in it. But I never saw it. But I'm not gonna hate on it and say that it's horrible. I think it's a B tier show. I think that's up. But if I'm being genuinely honest, it's not better than Seraph of the End. I don't think so. I wouldn't put it above that. Well, I would because I am, but I wouldn't. If this was just like what I'm saying, a preference list and not the top list, I would. But I know people, especially critically, would probably consider this better than that. I would think. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord is probably a C. Not a bad show, just not a good show. I think it has some nudity and stuff in it too. It's just extra, but I think the story is decent, if I remember correctly. ReZero is very good, very emotional show. I think it's probably a tier show, especially with the characters. I think it's left a big impression on a lot of people. This is one of those shows that'll lead an entire season. If it comes out in the right season, like it'll be the number one anime at the time. It's one of them ones. Won a lot of awards. Yeah, ReZero's one of the ones. Roka is a C. Roka of the Braves. It's probably a D actually. This show is ass. Guilty Crown is a banger. I'm gonna put it at B tier. That's one of them short and quick little bangers that's to the side. Never really got a whole bunch of attention, I feel like, and then caught on at one point in like probably 2015, 2010, because it was on the streaming services. Or at least that was my take on it. That's how I found it, and I ended up really enjoying it. Good show. Just a good, solid show. Good soundtrack. Very, very good animation. Another, like, mecha kind of thing. This is more of a serious romance one, though, but this is really good. Like, very, very, very solid, good writing. It's almost like a throwback show, almost. But the animation style is so up to date that you don't feel that, but the writing style and stuff is kind of throwback. Like, it reminds you like a show in the 2000s. But I don't. What year did Guilty Crown come out? See, 2011, yeah. Like, it remind you of a show in the 2000s, but it came out in 2011, so that makes sense, actually. But yeah, solid show. Recreators is also solid. I'm putting it in C tier, though. Recreators is also solid. It's one of the Amazon shows. Nothing wrong with Recreators. Not nothing that I would, not nothing that I need to watch, but when I watched it, I wasn't mad at it. Same with, Chivalry of a Failed Knight. It's another just solid show. Nothing wrong with it. Chivalry of a Failed Knight is actually really solid. Like, that's Data Live territory. I think when you talk about that type of show, like, it can't. I don't know if that type of show can be better than a C. Like that super comedy, random, just popped up out of school. You already 15, just thrown in storyline, punchlines, back to back to back type of show. I don't know how good that show can really be. You know what I'm saying? So I think it has limits, but definitely for that brand of show, very, very good execution and stuff. Likeable main character. They had a good relationship. It was cool, and it was genuinely funny too. It was actually funny. Like, that's one I would rewatch actually. Darwin's Game is one I would like to see. I'd never watched Darwin's Game because I've seen Future Diary and No Game No Life and all these other animes that I've heard are basically the same. So I'm not. I hate watching the same show over and over again. I probably should give it a chance, but that's why I never watched it, because I heard it was the exact same show as like Future Diary and all that. So, Black Clover. I want to put it in A, but I'm gonna put it in B next to like Fairy Tail and stuff. I think that's the right tier it is, because I think I want to put it under the shows I think are a peg degree up, because I don't want to put those ones in S. You know what I mean? I don't want to fill up S. And I think Black Clover is very, very solid. I think it's actually, it might even be better than Fire Force. But it's not original. It's hard for me to say that Black Clover is original, and it was fast. I feel like it was here and then it was gone. Animation kind of got messed up in between there, but the story was super solid, rock solid, and the characters are good. I always liked Black Clover. I ended up fighting through it. The movies always delivered. Like, I like Black Clover a lot. I got a lot of love for Black Clover. Just like I do Fire Force. Just like I do all these ones in B. I just think they just sold a little bit, but I like it. Demon Slayer, I'm going to put at A tier. Leading the pack right now for sure. As far as just new animes, I think it has the potential still to be one of the best anime ever and bump up to that S tier with this last season. They still have time to do that. I think they've delivered what they needed to do so far, but now they're getting to the point where the story is so serious that if they give us a product that they can give us something crazy, or they won't. We'll see. I haven't read the manga and stuff, so I haven't spoiled the story for myself. But if the story ain't good enough to carry it, it's not. But As long as the story is there and they can animate it crazy enough, these animations have been beautiful. As long as they keep this up, man, they can have a box office hit on their hands. So I'm excited for what Demon Slayer might have coming up soon. No Game No Life is probably a B tier, maybe A tier show. Very, very good show. Probably the best, second best like strategy anime I've seen. The only thing bringing this down is how much of a weirdo the main character is. But I like the bright colored thing that was different. And I like the strategicness of it. I like that they're both geniuses. The chess thing, like it was good. Very original. I never seen an anime like that. I didn't enjoy Gate. I'm gonna do a D tier for Gate. I didn't enjoy Gate. I know some people did, but I didn't enjoy that. They could have kept that for sure. Drifters is super solid. I don't know if they ever continued Drifters. I think they stopped in the middle of it. I wish they would have finished it. But Drifters was solid. I'm gonna put B tier for Drifters. Konosuba's the A tier. I know some people that would definitely put this in S tier. But I'm gonna go A tier for Konosuba. Super solid show. Nothing wrong with Konosuba. Very, 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 very funny. All the spin-offs and stuff's definitely popular. And I understandably why. It's like the Family Guy always say anime. I know that's not a good. I feel like that is a good comparison though. Like, it's just super funny and goofy and out there, but it's an isekai too, with a little bit of soul. Characters are super lovable, but it actually does have a storyline that's solid, and it has all them seasons. Like one of them shows you can just throw on anytime. I got a lot of love for Konosuba. It's a good show. I go through my phases with it. What show is this? With each girl in the front. I don't know what that is. Oh my! Something is a villainous. I've seen that on Crunchyroll before. I don't care to see that. Log Horizon is yeah, I'm gonna go C tier. This is why, because Log Horizon is solid, but I'm gonna say C tier because Log Horizon took that massive break and then came back and acted like niggas was gonna remember what the fuck was going on. Like Log Horizon, they was tripping, bro. They was tripping. They definitely sold the bag. I think the first season you could put near A tier, but they definitely sold the bag with what happened next. And it started out dumb slow. Don't think I forgot that either. It's a high C tier show. Again, better than Shield Hero, but it's near Shield Hero, in my opinion. That like this is a little assassin show. I'm gonna put at the top of C tier because this shit's actually super solid. But I don't think these type of shows, like I definitely think these type of shows are limited by it just being a cookie cutter show. So that's just my opinion. I don't care to see this. Grimgar's alright. I'm gonna put that in C tier too. Grace of Gods, I don't care to see. Realistic Hero was solid. This was solid. I'm putting top of C tier. Cautious Hero was funny as hell. Put that top of C tier as well. Wise Grandchild, that's another solid show. That's like bottom of C tier, near like Recreators. Faraway Paladin wasn't bad. Faraway Paladin was super solid. But like these are all C tier shows. Like these are C tier shows for sure. Faraway Paladin was solid. I don't care to see that. This is like the How Smart You Smartphone one. I haven't seen it though. Eighth Son is stupid. I've seen the cover, so this is probably a D tier show. I don't care to see that. I haven't seen that. Devil's My Part-Timer is a decent little show. The only thing is I don't like these type of concepts where they be saying them names all the time, but I think I am gonna go. Yeah, it's better than these shows. I'm gonna be honest. It's better than these, so I'm probably gonna go low B tier. I think it's on the same level as like Guilty Crown and them. Like like a low B tier show. This one I've seen. I'm gonna go see. Cell World I have not seen, but I would like to see a Cell World. I've been meaning to watch a Cell World for a long time because I think that's like the first real video game one. I don't remember what Cell World is about, but it's like the first one of its type, and I know it's supposed to be really good, but I just never watched it. Maybe because I don't remember why. I feel like in the same reason with Haxan. This is like in the same category for me. Like they're older and they've been out for a while, so by the time I got to know what they were, I had other shit I could watch. But these are both supposed to be super solid. HBDSD. We'll put that on top of C tier. Plunder. Ooh, Plunder is probably a D. Maybe a C. Probably a D. I like Plunder better than all these though, but probably a D tier show. This is probably a super solid B tier show right here. It's a super solid B tier show. Very, very good cast, but the story is good. Like real good. Way better than I expected it to be. And they kept being consistent season after season. So I'm gonna put them in B tier. This Last Crusade is still coming out. It's tough to judge stuff that's literally currently coming out because they still got potential to do better. But I'm gonna put them in C tier right now. But this has potential, but I think they're settling this season, so I'm not watching it, but I'm just sensing the vibes. Absolute Duo I need to watch. I've heard about it. Infinite Stratus is on here. They're going crazy. Infinite Stratus is definitely a C tier show. It's every bit as good as this. Infinite Stratus is actually entertaining for sure. Like, if you start it, you probably gonna get through it, but you might not. But you probably gonna get through it. It has decent enough action to keep you compelled. I dropped Dragnar Academy. I was watching it for a little bit and then I stopped. Astrotic War is good. Put that C tier. That's definitely the same level as like Infinite Stratus. Solid. Nothing wrong with them. World Trigger's a B tier. World Trigger is super solid. Better than all these for sure. Right under a Psychopath, I would say. It needs to be right under these, like right there. Yeah, because I think World Trigger is underrated for sure. The only problem with World Trigger is how long it took them to get it all together, to get it all out, and the delays and all that. But now that it's a finished product and you can watch it all at once, it's a magnificent show. Like, it's actually great. There's even parts that I haven't seen in World Trigger just because, like, I just never went back and watched it all. But I really need to go back and watch it in its entirety. I've watched it all in chunks now, but I need to watch it like all at once. But World Trigger is criminally underrated. What is this? I don't know what this is. Yeah, I never watched this, but I know it's not good. Wandering Witch is decent. I'm gonna watch a couple episodes of this, but I'm gonna go C tier. They might cook me for that because I only watched a couple episodes, so it might be better than that. To Love Ru gets a lot of love, but I think this is some freaky shit. I'm pretty sure. We're gonna put that in C tier though. Testament of New Sister New Devil is definitely some freaky shit. But I'm gonna go B tier. I'll play. We're gonna go C tier. We're gonna put all the freaky shit down here on the same line. Yeah, all the freaky shit down there. Trinity 7 is a D tier. That's also some freaky shit. Cessia Rogue Hero. This is a decent one I watched back in the day. It's been out for a while, actually. It's probably a C tier show. Nothing wrong with it. It's definitely better than like Plunder. Like, it has a decent storyline, but it's not great. Definitely not great. It could definitely be a D tier very easily. This is some super freaky shit right here. We're gonna put that right there. I've never seen Caprione, but it looked decent. I ain't gonna lie. I like older animes like in this 2000 range. This might be something I should put on my list. I was just watching that Black Cat show too. Like I like to go like, damn, this was older than a motherfucker. It's 4.5 out of 5, so it gotta be good. Yeah, like, this is probably good. Some people find religion, but for 16-year-old Gojo, it's religion that finds him. As a result of defeating the God of War in Mortal Kombat, Gojo received the position of component or God Slayer, whose duty is to fight heretical gods whenever and wherever they appear, and start changing things to suit themselves, usually at the expense of people in the area. Not only is likely to make them begin recognition. This might be good. That storyline sounds crazy. Yeah, you might have to watch that. That's fire. That's fire. This is cool to do because now I got a list of shows I need to watch. Put that at the top. I actually might watch that today. Irregular Magic High School, definitely solid. The only thing weird about this that brings it down is the weird brother sister thing. But I'm still gonna make it. I'm gonna make it a B. Same thing with this. Like, they're really good shows. They just got weird components to them that bring it a little bit down for me. RWBY is probably an A tier show, especially when you start talking about influence and stuff like that. Like, RWBY was huge. Them short episodes, straight to the fights, all the different colors. The girls love it. Like, yeah, that's one of the ones. 100 is trash. I'm gonna have to go with D. The quintuplets thing I've never seen and I don't want to see. Kill La Kill is an A tier, easy A tier, classic, super good story. Like, doesn't need too much backing up. Kill La Kill is one of the ones. 86 is probably, arguably, an A tier show. For me, I'm gonna go with a B because I'm a tough grader, and it's not super duper original to me. It definitely gave me all Noah vibes the entire time I was watching it. I know it's different, but that's the vibe I got from it. Super serious, strategic main character in the mecha world, trying to save the world. Same vibe, but great show. Easily could slip into A, but very, very good show. Vivi is kind of in that same realm for me. Super solid show. Could slip into A tier, but I think as it ages, it becomes like a B tier show. Like, I think that's just where it's gonna sit at. Like, one of them shows that if you land on it on accident, you're like, oh shit, I found some shit. Like, it's one of them type of shows, but it's not. I don't think it's one of them shows that you're like, oh my god, it's one of my favorite shows ever. Like, I don't think it's giving that vibe, but I think it's a solid B. And that's perfect for it. This show was solid. This show wasn't bad. It's just a little random isekai, basically. I'm gonna keep it in C tier down there. I think that's where I need to go. Full dive. I don't care to see that. Jujutsu Kaisen. We got some good ones left. Jujutsu Kaisen is a tough one for me. Because for me, I like Jujutsu Kaisen less and less as it comes out. I think the most I like Jujutsu Kaisen was when it first released. I think as it continues to come out, I like it less and less. But I still like it. It's definitely a solid show. I don't think it's writing-wise, I think they've delivered every season. I'm going to go with A tier. Because I think they're going to deliver on this last season. I think I'm going to go low A tier, but I don't think I'm going to go A tier. Mob Psycho is definitely A tier. Mob Psycho is one of the ones, one of the best ones. Start to finish, super good show, super sweet animation, original animation style, delivered. I mean, great characters, funny as hell. That's one of the ones. Emotionally invoking, like that's a banger. I love Mob Psycho. One Piece is S tier. Legendary, still running to this day, longest anime running. Yeah. We not gonna say too much. One Piece is S tier. Fullmetal Alchemist. Is Brotherhood down here or just regular Fullmetal Alchemist? The whole series. Doing the whole series. Fullmetal Alchemist, we're going S tier then. Well, Fullmetal Alchemist is S tier, another legend. Yeah, that's one of the big dogs. One of the big dogs. Cowboy Bebop. It's a tough one for me. I think you could make an argument for S tier for Cowboy Bebop simply because of its legendary status, its longevity, marketability, all that type of stuff. But I think it's a top of A tier. I think that's where it needs to be. I think writing wise, that style of show ages decent. But I think when I initially watched it, the jumping around style of the show I didn't love. I think what kept me there was the compelling story. But the thing is, the older I get, the more I'm gonna like Cowboy Bebop because of how serious and intense the messages were in that show. Like that's a show I really need to rewatch now at 25. You know, because I guarantee I'm gonna get more out of it today and notice more today than I ever did back then because of the nature of that show. But I'm gonna put it in the top of A tier with Gurren Lagann and Demon Slayer. So I mean, it's in great company, but I think you can make a real good argument for S tier. And see, that's the thing because I'm gonna put Neon Genesis Evangelion in S tier because I have really high regard for Neon Evangelion for it being pretty much the originator of mecha, being emotionally one of the most. That was a show that really connected me at a time when I probably needed to watch that when I was going through a lot of that type of depression and stuff. That's one of the ones. Especially if you watch it as a teenager, I feel like that's a show that can make a really big impression on you. Neon Genesis Evangelion, but I'm going S tier. I'm going S tier for Naruto too. We have a couple S tiers up here, so we're gonna have a couple up there. I think Naruto is a clear S tier. Legendary. All that. I mean, I don't think you gotta argue too much for Naruto up there. We already know what's up. Death Note. I'm gonna go S tier for Death Note. Go S tier for Death Note. I think Death Note is classic. As far as popularity, I think Death Note is one of the most popular animes in most people's entry to anime, and rightfully so. I think it's simple enough concept, but also delivers on it in a beautiful fashion that you can't predict, and just ropes you in. The first time you watch Death Note, you think it's the best anime you've ever seen, and that's like universal usually. JoJo I would like to watch. I haven't seen JoJo, so I'll put that in there now. Platinum Zen I haven't seen. I'll put that in there now. Hunter x Hunter is probably a S tier show. You can make an argument to bump it down to A because it has not, because the ending in the show wasn't great, and they're still obviously going right now, but it's not gonna get ended right because of the health complications and stuff. So it's just an interesting situation. But so I think you could bump it down for that. But outside of that, I think Hunter x Hunter is definitely a classic. People love Hunter x Hunter. Berserk. I think you can make an argument for S tier for Berserk. But I'm gonna go A because I don't think every Berserk rendition came with the same intensity. I think they've sold a lot, but the ones that are good are extremely good. But they've also sold on a couple of the Berserk animes and stuff they came out with. But regardless, overall, I think Berserk is a great story. I really enjoyed those claymation style movies that they came out with. Those are really, really good. It has some crazy stuff going on. But yeah, Berserk is really good. I think A tier is the correct place for it. Darling in the Franxx is super solid. Top tier B show, I would say. Super duper solid. One of them shows that leaves an impression on you. She's crazy. It's a good show. Freaky show. DBZ is S tier. DBZ is S tier. One of the greatest shows of all time. Goku is by far the most popular show of all time. Most influential ever. Like, it's a lot of evers. If you like anime and you're like born 2000s or 1995 or anywhere in that type of range, 1990s, if you're born anywhere in there, you love DBZ. Like, DBZ was massive. Obviously, people are still DBZ fans now because of Super and they continued it and all that, but back then it was massive. Video games and all that. I mean, it's just DBZ is one of a kind. Now, Assassination Classroom is a high tier A show up here in great company. I think it is ending wise one of the best and saddest endings I've ever seen. Story is extremely compelling and surprising, catching you off guard how good it is. I love Assassination Classroom, a show I need to probably rewatch as well because it's been a couple years. But along with Assassination Classroom, this is up here too. I think these two shows really carried that. I don't know why. To me, they're the same time. Maybe it's because they're both in the classroom and stuff. But they really carried this genre. Like they really went nuts. Both of these. Erase is also an A tier show. I think Erase is super duper good story. First one I had seen like that. Yeah, and they executed it well. Erase is really good. You go A. Tokyo Ghoul, I want to argue for A, but the way they sold that last season makes you want to go B. And I think with Psycho-Pass is great company as well. I think they are both extremely solid. I think I want to put it. Well, no, it's up there. I think I want to put it above these two though. Nah, not above No Game No Life right there. But yeah, I think Tokyo Ghoul. If Tokyo Ghoul's story had to, it had the potential to be S tier. I think they just, I don't know, something about it just made me not hang in there. Even though I did finish both seasons initially, but once that last one came out, I just couldn't. Something about it, I just couldn't keep up. I didn't like it, so I'm gonna go B. With everything included, I'm gonna go B. If it was just the first two seasons, I would be different, but I gotta include it all. Parasite is an A tier show. Yeah, I'm gonna go high B tier. I'm gonna go high B tier. It's better than these shows. I'm gonna go A tier, low A tier, low A tier. Like these. Oh, it should be low A tier. These are fun. I think they should be dragged down here. I think a comic got kid is better than these ones. No, Kill la Kill. There's a lot that they go around, but this is better. Yeah, this is better. Just a kite needs to move up. Right there's probably cool. There you go. That's pretty good. Okay. Blue Exorcist is a high B tier show. Concept brings it down because I don't, like I told you, I don't like when they talking about all that underworld stuff, but definitely a solid show. Can't hate on it. It's actually still finishing up right now, and the new seasons are even better than the old ones used to be. I think they finished up the story crazy, unpredictable for sure. It's a good show. High Rise Invasion is awful. There's an F, I'll put an F, but there's only D, so I'm putting D. Pokemon is a classic. I'm actually going to go with a S for Pokemon. Clap it up for Pokemon. Pokemon's one of them ones, bro. Especially when I was a kid, watching Pokemon was some of the most fun moments I had. Even though the show is obviously garbage, just on pure popularity, video games, all that shit, and that whole tip, I'm putting it in S tier for influence alone. So, Promised Neverland is getting a solid C. Solid C, just off the sheer fact that they sold the second season. First season is almost S tier, but that second season sold so bad they're going all the way down to C. Bleach, hot take. I want to put Bleach at the top, number one in B level. Is where I want to put Bleach. I think Bleach is a show that has more likability than it can handle. I don't think the storyline is ever fully delivered how I wanted it to. It's always been similar to Fairy Tail to me as far as not being able to fully execute its full potential, and not fully able to draw me in. Obviously, there's some arcs in both, I would argue, Fairy Tail and Bleach, that got me really hooked, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's a top tier show. I think Ichigo is a top tier character, but I don't think the show is top tier. I just don't. And it never has, and it never will be. I think they sell a lot on the power levels. I think they sell a lot. So I'm going with B, but I'm going the very tippy top of B. 89%. Hyora is an A tier show, probably. Very original. Very original concept. Another good one. Gintama is probably an A to an S tier show. I haven't seen some of these shows. I haven't seen all of, but I can judge the fact that Gintama is so highly regarded, and it's very funny. But the storyline is massive. But it's one of the ones. I think you can make a strong argument for Gintama being S tier. Strong argument. But I'm gonna go A tier just off the sheer fact that it's never been able to hook me. And there's some great shows we have down here in A tier. But Violet Evergarden, I think, is an A. Again, I give a lot more points for extremely original concepts. Like this dog concept was insane. And the first time I seen it in the story and everything with the animation being so beautiful, it just hooked me with no fighting. Like that's a magnificent show. Extremely emotional though. You better not watch that shit unless you ready to cry. Hockey is probably an A tier to get me to watch volleyball to that extent. I think is impressive. Probably a B tier actually. Probably a high B tier, and I'm probably gonna put Food Wars down here. I think these are on the exact same level. Like compelling stories got me to watch something I never thought I'd really be watching, but they're not necessarily. I think RWBY should be a B tier too. High B tier. I think these are high B tier shows. Nothing wrong with being a B. Because I think these are a level above story wise. I might slip into B too. Yeah. Because I think this is a highly emotional show that gives you something completely different as far as an original concept. And I have to give more credit for that. These are things that compel me to stuff that I never thought I'd be watching. But the story itself, I don't think are crazy good. And I think that's what makes them this level. Ranking of Kings. First season is very good. I'm going to do the high B. High B. Definitely has the potential to be an A show. The only thing is I haven't seen the second season. I've only seen the first, so I gotta watch the second season. And I heard it stayed really good, but people don't love it. I don't think it gets enough credit that it's due. I think it's due more credit. But me personally, I would have to put it on a high B. High B. Very good show. Your Lie in April is one of the ones. I think people might riot if I don't put it in A, but I actually have not seen it. And I don't care to see it, but I know it is extremely good. I know it is. Saiki, I also haven't seen, but I know it's good. Hellsing, I've seen, and it is damn near a classic. But I think A tier is just too high for Hellsing, in my opinion. It's not that good. I know a lot of people love it. I know, but it's not that good. I'm gonna put it like right there. I think it's perfect. Exactly where it needs to go. This needs to come down a little bit. Right there's cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think Hellsing is super solid. I think you could make a strong argument for A tier because of influence. But outside of that, I don't see Hellsing as an A tier show. Claymore, I have a lot of love for Claymore. They kind of sold Claymore a little bit, which is why it makes me sad. I don't like judging Claymore, but it is really good. Still really good. I think I would put it on a low A tier. Like Claymore to me is still definitely better than like Tokyo Ghoul for sure. For sure. So I'm gonna go with that's a tough one to judge though, because I think it could definitely arguably be a B tier easily with the shows we have in B tier right now, I think actually I am gonna slip it in B tier because with the shows we have in B tier right now, now that I'm looking at what's down here, like these are bangers. Like it is a really good show, but it's not. I don't think it gets over the hump to be an A tier show. I don't think. I don't think it did quite enough, but it's a good show. Tower God is probably a C tier for me. I think they sold the bag a little bit. I think they had the recipe to be. I think they had the recipe to be a really, really, really good show, and I think they kind of sold the bag. I accidentally sat them down somewhere. I think I put them in C. Yeah, they're in there. Yeah, they're C tier show. Actually, that's a good spot for them right there. Couldn't even see him. Fit perfect. Magi is going to be A tier. Especially with that send off with Sinbad and everything. Magi to me gets over the hump with originality and a super extremely cool power system. I can't get enough of Magi. I could watch if they could come off with 100 spin-offs of Magi, and I would watch every single one. I don't understand why we haven't got more already. It's actually kind of really irritating because I think that series had a lot more to offer, especially that world. But yeah, man, Magi's to me extremely good. I love Magi. Love Magi. I think it's still underrated, and it's super popular, but I think it's still underrated. Future Diary is damn near S tier, but I'm gonna put it at A. Because it has some parts that I don't necessarily, I think are a little slow. But the thing I like about Future Diary is not super predictable, but that's a really good show. Fruits Basket is probably A tier. I think that's like the best romance anime ever, probably. We'll go A tier for Fruits Basket. I'm gonna fuck around and go A tier for Spy X Family too. Spy X Family is for a family show, especially like they're able to hit all the buttons with the comedy, the entertaining, the action is extremely clean, and the story be crazy, super funny, super creative. Yeah, I like Spy X Family a lot. Big fan. Tokyo Revengers is meh. Superman, Tokyo Revengers. I'm gonna go C. I think they had a lot of opportunity, especially with that first season, to really have something special there. Then they really sold it and just lost my interest going into the next season. Grimoire of Zero, I've never seen. I don't care to see it. All right, that's crazy. Let me zoom out so we can see everything. That's a W, man. W. Man. I think we did actually a pretty good job. I ain't gonna lie. I think we did a pretty good job. For S tier, we got One Piece, Naruto, DBZ, Attack on Titan, Steins Gate, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Death Note, Full Metal, Hunter x Hunter, and Pokemon. Yeah, we did a good job guarding that S tier. We did a good job guarding it. I didn't put too much up there. I don't feel like I didn't even get a second line up there, so I like that. I definitely think I was a tough critic when it came to trying to get somebody in S tier because I do think Cowboy Bebop, now looking at what's in S tier, I think I'm comfortable filling up the top and putting it up there. I think I'm comfortable with that decision. I feel like out of all the ones in A tier, the only one to me that could get a bump up was Cowboy Bebop. I think it deserves to be up there with the legends. But I think that fills up my S tier perfectly. I think A tier starting off with Gurren Lagann, Demon Slayer, and Gintama, One Punch Man, Mushoku Tensei, My Hero Academia, Vinland Saga, Mob Psycho, Jujutsu Kaisen, Slime, Dr. Stone. Like those are absolute. All of that whole top list is bangers. All of those are bangers. I think this whole A tier, I don't think you can go wrong with anything in here. If you watch any of these in this A tier, you're not going wrong. Promise you. And the top of B tier is kind of holding that same energy. I think Psycho Pass could sneak in here to A tier with the first season, but with the full anime in consideration, I think it's a B tier show. This is a great tier list. I'm about to download this shit. beautiful too. It's best anime. That's fire. All right, that was fun though. I ain't gonna lie. I would love. I would. I wouldn't mind doing another one of them. That shit was fun though. I ain't gonna lie. Let's see about let's see if they got a fun little LeeWufufu we could do real quick too. These Smash or Pass, these anime characters is nasty work, bro. They're tripping. Mecha anime openings is a good one. Fave and manga characters, cartoon characters with horror is crazy. Ultimate anime tournament, best showing. We did that yesterday. We could do like some different shit. We could do some anime opening shit. That'd probably be cool actually. There's one like nostalgia anime OSTs. That's too long though. Pause. Can't you shorten it though? Yeah, I'm shorten it to 40. 15 rounds. Alright. Now I'm gonna do something that I know everything. Best Dragon Ball Transformers, saddest backstories in One Piece. Anime worlds to live in. We're gonna do this. Seven Deadly Sins or Pokemon World. Pokemon. That's a tough one. Okay, because Pokemon World. See, but the Pokemon World's kind of sweet because Pokemon World, the Pokemon don't really attack you. Shit. I mean, they do and they cause issues, but they're not like a huge threat to your life. They're like life partners. And Pokemon is really similar to real life outside of that. Seven Deadly Sins, they're getting hoed. A lot of people were getting hoed. So I'm gonna go Pokemon World on that. Pokemon World might win this. Definitely not going to Aincrad. They literally like all got trapped inside of the world. I'm not going there. So I'm gonna go Hidden Leaf Village. Even though Hidden Leaf Village gets hoed too, especially if you're a regular person. But you also could be, you have a great likelihood of being a ninja because it's like 50-50 or something like that. Like it's not a crazy percentage. And I mean, even Rock Lee just learned how to be a ninja. Like you can just be a ninja, and that's gonna help your odds a lot of surviving. Unless y'all go to war, then obviously you might die. But I mean, a lot of people get hoed in Naruto. I would say on average, more people died in Naruto than Sword Art Online in the entire show. Like a lot more people in Naruto died, but I think I would rather live in Naruto because Aincrad is still a video game at the end of the day. Like it's not real life. I'm going Naruto. I'm gonna go Avatar just for the simple fact that you get to be born inside of a country with an element, and that's really cool. Yeah, that's cooler than Earthling to me. I know what Earthling is though from Fairy Tail. My instant death ability is so overpowered. I'm gonna go Demon Slayer. Ooh, see the thing about Soul Leveling is you're not Jing-Woo, so the Soul Leveling world ain't that cool. I wouldn't say. My Hero is cooler because it's your own quirk. I mean, you run the risk of not having a good one, but if you got a good quirk, I feel like I would have a good quirk. And if you get a good one, bro, you lit. I'm going My Hero. You got a better chance of being lit. Freeman's World was solid. Solid. They had a lot of different types of people and stuff. As far as like people getting hoed and stuff, it wasn't that bad. And Spectre was like the weird, so I'm gonna go Freerun. Zom 100 was the one with the zombies. So getting attacked all the time. I think that's an easy win for Spike's family. Sakamoto Days is like basically normal. They're just assassins. I don't know what this is. Dragon Ball Z or Tokyo Ghoul? Dragon Ball Z. You know, Dragon Ball Z they get held a lot when the enemies come to just be destroying whole cities and shit. But and they always threaten to destroy the entire planet. But Goku's there, so it's like safe. Tokyo Ghoul is crazy, like with all the ghouls and stuff. But and you get eaten and all that. Like the risk of getting eaten is extremely high if you live in this city. So I'm gonna go Earth. Fire Force World isn't that bad either. Like these, like they don't. I mean, yes, they be getting hold when they destroy the city and stuff, but it's not that bad. Bleach, the nigga Isaac was trying to delete the entire Earth, so I don't know. But I know that's about to happen. There's about to be a planetary threat on Fire Force 2. I know there is. As far as the worlds themselves, like power wise, I think I would rather live in Fire Force because everybody's pretty much super powered or has some type of talent. Where Bleach, you can just be a regular ass nigga. Like a regular ass nigga. I'm gonna go Fire Force. One Piece for sure. First off, come on now. Nobody wants to live in Attack on Titan. Jujutsu Kaisen or Baki? See, Baki ain't that bad. Because they just martial artists. Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen people get a hoe. For sure. You could be strong. I mean, you could be strong. There's a lot of strong people in Jujutsu Kaisen. So it could go either way. But a lot of people do get hold in Jujutsu Kaisen. A lot less people get hold in Baki. As far as the power thing, you'd rather be in Jujutsu Kaisen if you're strong. Because you're gonna be more powerful, it's gonna be more fun. But Baki is fun. I mean, every boxing in Baki, it's just a different type. It's two very different types of world. Baki world is very similar to like regular life. I'm gonna go Jujutsu Kaisen. Ooh, this is interesting. One Punch Man or Death City Soul Eater. See, like I can only imagine being a regular person in Death City, but the main thing in Death City is the school, so there's not that many regular people. But if you're a regular person, like that Kishin being there had to be the scariest thing in the world. But overall, I would think it's cooler to be like a Meister than it would be to be like a hero on One Punch. I would think it'd be cooler to be a Meister. I'm gonna go Death City. Personally, I'd rather live in Death City. Death Note or Pokemon. See, Death Note, as long as you're not doing no crimes, that dude Light wasn't gonna really mess with you. You could really be out the way in Death Note and like just be literally a regular human being. So I'm gonna go Pokemon because you got a Pokemon because they're both kind of normal. This is a tough one. I think I'm gonna go Avatar though because I'd rather have an element than be a ninja. But the idea of doing jutsus, nah, I think I take that back. I think the idea of learning different jutsus is fascinating and having your own chakra. And I know they both like are similar in that aspect where you have your own element, like you're channeling your own element, which is super cool too. Like you could be a water and firebender, earthbender, or whatever. But I think the idea of being a ninja, being able to do all these different types, it's kind of the same thing though. It's very similar, but I think you have more versatility in Naruto think you have a little bit more versatility on what you can do, and the chances of you being able to be like the strongest ninja ever, I think is cool. The only way you have that chance in Avatar is if you are the Avatar. I mean, outside of that, nobody's really boxing to become stronger than Avatar. Outside of the Avatar, he's the strongest regardless. I mean, there's people close though. He be having people boxing with him sometimes, but yeah, I think I would. I think I'm gonna go Naruto. That was a close one though. This is the good one too. Like I'm thinking like at the top and like would you rather be a demon slayer, would you rather be a hero or my hero? And I think my hero is probably the right answer. I think demon slayer stakes wise there's a lot less of them and it's a lot harder. It's a little bit more stressful and demons are really serious versus my hero. They go through years and years with nothing, no violence and shit. They just got the little petty heroes. I'm going my hero. Shit kind of sweet in my hero a little bit. Free Run Beyond, Journey's End, or Spike's Family. Spike's Family's world is pretty regular again. I'll get Spike's Family though, because it seemed to be probably a little bit calmer. See, Dragon Ball Z, I think it'd be really cool to be a hero, but you'd be an Earthling, and that's kind of. I mean, who's the strongest Earthling? Krillin. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't sound super fun. If I was on DBZ, I wouldn't be a Saiyan, but. The strongest Earthling would be Oob, but he's technically Oob reincarnation. But I guess Oob will be the strongest human. Select Immortal Days with the assassins and stuff. I'm gonna go DBZ still, only because that world is weak. One Piece is a tough one, bro, because being a pirate in that world doesn't sound super fun, but having your own devil fruit power is probably crazy. Like that does seem crazy, and being able to master and become like the master of an entire like element or something. If you get like an elemental or whatever you got. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go One Piece. Convince myself. This is a tough one. They were getting hoed. They was at war for a minute. A lot of people died in Code Geass. I'm gonna go Jujutsu Kaisen. See, Pokemon to me is like an ideal world because it's calm and it's super duper cool. Being a Meister would also be super duper cool. And having like a partner like that you fuse with and fight with every single day. I think the idea of that, and they both have that kind of same idea with that partner concept, which makes it kind of tough. Because I think that's kind of what makes these both unique, but in very different ways. I think the idea of collecting your own Pokemon, though, is fascinating. Very different than having pets. I mean, they literally can fight and do all this other stuff. Yeah, like, being able to catch them all, the idea of that in real life would be insane. Absolutely insane. And I think that might be cooler than Death City. Yeah. This is tough. Quirk versus Ninja versus Jutsus. I think Jutsus, as I said before, is way more versatile. I think you have the chance to. Versus like being a hero, you're set in whatever you're born with. I think Jutsu, the idea of being able to learn and train and continue to get stronger over time, and whatever your specialty is, to the point where you're OP because you just train so hard. The idea of that is awesome. In My Hero, there's some limitations to that. Obviously, you can get as strong as you can get, but there's some OP ass people with some OP ass powers in My Hero. I'm gonna go Naruto. Same thing with Naruto, but not as bad. It's a tough one. This is like calm versus. I think being an Earthling here would still be way cool. I'm gonna go Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, I'm going One Piece over Jujutsu Kaisen. I think Jujutsu Kaisen would be more like comfortable, but I think One Piece would be cooler to be like a devil fruit, have a devil fruit and be a pirate and stuff. And I think that would be cooler than being in Jujutsu Kaisen. I think Jujutsu Kaisen is a lot more like normal life, just with some powers. Cause it just be at school and shit. Semifinals. All right. So Jutsus versus collecting Pokemon. I think it's very very tough. I think the idea of being a ninja and being in that world, but you got to go to war all the time, which is the part that kind of sucks. You're constantly battling all the time if you're a ninja, constantly, and the chance of you dying is really high. Versus in Pokemon, I don't know if you, yeah, I mean, you'd be pretty cool, bro. Pokemon is sweet if you want it to be. I'm gonna go Pokemon. Safer. Between these two, I think One Piece because I have the opportunity to be probably I have the chance of being a bigger entity. If you end up getting a major devil fruit, even though the chances of getting them is super low, that's the thing. But versus DBZ, I mean, you could train and be a super strong Earthling, like just by connecting with the right people. You know what I'm saying? I'm leaning towards DBZ. Nah, but they be getting hoed. I'm going One Piece. I think the winner to me is gonna be Pokemon. I think the idea of having a Pokemon, I think, fascinates me. And their world is beautiful. It's massive. Travel around, run around, collect all these different Pokemon from different regions, and camp. And I think the idea of it being and it's always seems so safe. Like every movie you see and all that, like the way they travel around, like it's extremely safe. Obviously, other than Team Rocket, but like the nature and stuff is just so accepting um, of the people as they run around, and it's just the harmony between the Pokemon and nature is just beautiful. I think One Piece is also a super cool world to me that they're on boats all the time, traveling around with devil fruits, able to do all these cool powers, and they're like super unique to what you find. I think that's super cool. Um, but it's way more dangerous. I'm surprised it made it this far. I think it just has some weak comp to go up to, couple up against to get up here. That's why I got here. But I'm going Pokemon. I'm curious what the number one answers have been. Oh, Pokemon's number one answer.